And welcome to the fourth edition of Straight Bat, proudly brought to you by the Aqaba Hotel and major sponsor Kookaburra Sports. Now, we'd normally be welcoming Mr. Straight Bat himself, David Hazer, to the show, but he hasn't turned up, unfortunately, so we're not quite sure where he is, but I'll welcome the crossbat man himself, Ryan Ainscough. How are you going tonight, Was?
Good, Raj. Yourself? It's actually quite good here tonight. Relax.
Well, it's a bit more relaxed, so we've decided to go rogue. No uniform, get rid of the uniform. We thought we might have a few drinks as well, just to open things up, so I hope David's okay with that.
Just a cup of tea there.
Just a cup of tea, but, might try something else a little bit later. We'll see how we go. So, but I think we have got David on the line, have we? Via link up or?
I'm not sure because I think he's running around looking at these T20 games.
Is he? Okay.
Checking to see if the covers have been put on or not.
Okay.
You know what?
Yeah, he's running around everywhere. See if we can get a game away.
No, mate, I'm not running around anywhere.
You got him.
Who's that? Hello?
G'day, mate. How are you?
Good, Dave. Yourself?
I'm good. Guys, how are you?
Good to hear you, David, even though we can't see you in person, so everything's all right?
Yes, mate, I got a old war injury with my left knee, so I'm hobbled at the moment.
Okay, we've let Was loose by himself, so it could be an entertaining show. But
it could be, yes.
We're going to do a bit of EO-LO corner, so we thought we might ask you about the weekend, because obviously there was a lot of rain around, and you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because a lot of people were asking you to call off the whole round, but you didn't do that. How do you come to a decision whether to call the whole round off or not?
Not easily, Raj. I went to bed on Friday hoping for a couple of mils of rain, which would made my life a lot easier on Saturday morning, but we didn't have that, so we decided to go ahead with the round.
You cop much criticism for not calling the whole round off?
Sorry?
Did you cop a bit of criticism for not calling it off?
Really. No. I reckon I would have copped a lot more if we called the round up.
Okay.
Like you said, it's damned if I do. But it was a tough decision. The easy decision was to call it off. Then I don't get 100 emails and about 50 phone calls on Saturday morning.
So, sorry, David. You said you didn't get any abuse or complaints. You didn't answer your phone or look at your emails.
I didn't get any complaints not of playing the games.
Okay.
No issues at all.
So, and in the lower grades, obviously umpires can make a call in the senior grades. In the lower grades, where I guess there are no umpires, what happens if captains can't agree whether to play or not? The one captain wants to play, one doesn't. What happens in that situation?
Yeah, that happens a lot, Raj. Depends on the position of the game.
Yep.
Captains tend to change their mind. 1 week they want to play. 6 weeks later they don't want to play.
Yep.
I normally ask the clubs to send in a photograph of the pitch.
Yeah.
That might make it easy for me to make a decision. So they do that, and sort of if there's doubt, I used to go to the grounds and inspect them. That was 13, 14 years ago, guys. I don't do that anymore. But yes, by looking at the wicket, generally, you can say if it's wet or not. Normally, if a captain wants to give me the worst part of the wicket, I do ask them can he go down the wicket a bit and so see what the pitch is actually like, not just one spot that is wet. But it's not a easy decision to make. But they both have to agree to play. Okay. Otherwise, it doesn't go ahead.
Fair enough.
What about covers? Covers, hey? This week, how many grounds got away with covers, do you know? You don't? That's all right. I did some homework, David, so...
less than half, I reckon, Warren.
So these people that bang out about covers being the be-all and end-all, I looked at grade cricket, I've looked at Adelaide turf on the weekend, and yeah, it's 50-50. It's a bit of luck, isn't it?
Let me stop you. It depends when the rain came. So covers are going to be on there on a Friday night at 7 o'clock, by 7 o'clock on a Friday night. As we all know, the rain came fairly early and far earlier than planned. I'm sure every club would have had the covers on a Thursday night if we didn't get the rain as we did on Thursday morning. And that was the issue. A lot of clubs got caught up. I don't expect them to put covers on from Tuesday night, but I'm sure some clubs might have done that, and they got a game away.
Clubs in strong positions put the covers on earlier in the week. If you were struggling a bit, maybe.
You're saying that.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just. if you're in a strong position,
I trust my clubs to do the right thing all the time.
I'm just repeating what the people are saying out there, David.
Yes, okay. Yes, but I think we got nearly 50% of the 2-day games underway on the weekend. And as a result of not calling it off, we got some junior games going and some women's games going as well on Sunday. But the clubs had made the early call, and the schools tend to do a fair bit of that.
Does it rain more over schools, or they just call it off earlier?
Who's that?
The schools. It seemed to, when the post came out Friday, it seemed to be just schools and
yes.
That called it. Was there more rain just over the school area, or was it something different?
No, Warren, not at all. The schools, as we know, the clubs are under the control of the schools themselves. They do the curating on the majority of the occasions, and they, as a result of that, they knock off at 3 o'clock or something like that. There are some schools that have curators that come in on a Saturday morning, but not all schools, where majority of the clubs normally have access to someone to roll the pitch on a Saturday morning. And the ones that did that would have got a game on Saturday.
Yeah, well, we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. But I think we're all here for the same thing, and that's to play as much cricket as we can.
Jeez, that was a voice of reason there. What's going on?
Someone else said that to me on the weekend.
Now, David, we also had some feedback, marketing at turfcricket.com.au, that we haven't covered the LOs at all. So we thought we might do a little bit of LO stuff as well. And there wasn't a lot of LO cricket played on the weekend. But
bit of vodka, mate. Get us through the session.
Right? Oh, gosh. I'm on make way down there, guys.
His joke might get better at the end, but we thought we might cover a bit of LO stuff. And we know the Silverbacks were away last weekend, and there were 5 LO1 captains, I believe, in the Silverback side. So Jason Turnbull from Uni, Andrew Belsack from Grange, Camrell Singh from Jeps, Rocco Zappi from Rockets, and Rob Muirhead, who's a board member from Flinders. So they represented the Silverbacks with distinction. And at the end of round 7, we got a few standout performers, I think. Pembroke, Munim Medis on 468 runs, and leading the bowling, the G-Ban Sari with 14 wickets. Also from Shock, Gavin Reagan, you know a bit about Gavin, was 379 runs, so he's going pretty well.
Oh, I think he's just come back into it, mate, and
Has
seems to be hitting them all right.
Okay, and what about LO6s? There's a familiar name there, Tony Fiore. He's been around for many years with 14 wickets. When did he start playing?
I reckon he's an Unley boy. Unley formed in 1971.
Yeah, okay.
I think Tony started about 1945.
Okay, so, well, he's still going strong, so good on him.
They call him Frenchie, one revolution. Paul doesn't turn much.
And any other of the yellow players featuring in the Silverbacks you're aware of, or any other Adelaide Turf players that perform well in the tournament?
Oh, you look through the team and you saw a lot of names there, like Grant Harvey from Rockets and Wes Thomas. That's a pretty good cricketer there. Wes coming back to play there.
Yep.
Our Sulanwa, Ben Tipper and Andrew Warner from Adelaide Uni.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. And in the Div 2, Luke Clayton at Unley, Aaron Hamdorf from the Rockets, Grant Lover and Goodwood, Lee Perkins at Grange, and Michael Chonners from Brighton, or Mr. Kraken Cricket.
Fantastic. And I think, yeah, the over 50s are over in Melbourne this week, I believe, David. Is that correct? So they'll hopefully be representing South Australia. Yep.
Yes. As a result of that, guys, a couple of the LO clubs are struggling to fill teams.
Yeah.
So this veterans is growing very quickly. I'm hoping it's not to be detrimental to Adelaide Turf cricket, because there's quite a lot of lads over 40s that are playing LO cricket.
Yep.
And playing once every 2 weeks is far better than playing every week. So I'm hoping it's not going to affect our cricket moving down the track.
What do you mean, David? Playing once every 2 weeks is better than playing weekly. Why's that?
Well, because you're old, Warren. You would know that. You take a couple of weeks to recover.
Mate, I tell my wife I play every week.
No, that's
even if I don't get on the park.
Yeah, well, looking at your stats, mate, I don't think you're playing every week, eh?
Mate, I'm out there. Having
okay,
a go.
Good.
No, but we'll cover a bit more of the yellow competition throughout the year, David. So thanks for the feedback to marketing@turfcricket.com.au. We'll take that on board, and any other feedback, please send it through. But I think that's pretty much our EOLO Corner, proudly brought to you by Platin Print Group. So, David, rest assured the show's in good hands for the rest of the night, and you go back to having a couple beers at Woodville or whatever you're doing, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
I'm not at Woodville, guys. Yeah, I will. Hopefully, the show goes okay.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, David. All the best, and Straight Bat will be back after this quick break to run through the results from last week, round 4.
Do you know what a great package looks like? Now that's a beautiful package. But how do you go from this to this? Well, if you don't know your DLs from your A1s, 2s, 3s and 4s, you're just like most other print professionals. So we'll help you understand before you order. We wish that package size didn't matter, but when it comes to printing, you need to know the size of your sheet. Once you've got your sheet straight, we can get to printing. So, talk with Platin, because other printers don't know sheet.
Welcome back to the Straight Bat. Now let's have a look at the Kookaburra A1 Premier Grade results from round 4. Hope Valley 6 for 136 and 5 for 74 defeated Flinders Park 57 and 151. Fletcher Pennell, the standout there, 5 for 8 and 3 for 21.
He bowled pretty well, mate. Bowled second change in the first innings to take 5 wickets, and he thought he did that well. He opened the bowling, 19 overs, 10 maidens, 3 for 21. So, yeah, rolled the arm over. Pretty good game from him.
Fantastic effort, and they'll be happy to get those points because a lot of other sides didn't get away, as we will see. But Paraka, 215, veteran Andy Lee, 70 and 3 for 6, defeated Trinity, 158 with Thomas Clements with 40 there.
Looking at Paraka's bowling card, looked like a junior card there. They used 7 bowlers through there, but old Andy Lee came on and bowled his 9 overs for 6 maidens, 3 for 6. Again, very good.
Yep.
And Thomas Clements, he batted well, 100 balls for his 40 runs in this modern day. We don't see that too often now with
very
T20
true
and whatever. So
tough conditions. So yeah, that was a good effort, but didn't get him over the line. Marion 180, Nick Mullier 66, drew with Para Hills. So Travis Wordsworth another 4 wickets. So good effort there. Grange 230, Jacob Burridge 93, drew with Goodwood. And Port District's got a win, 6 for 295 and 5 for 61. Too good for Woodville South with 119. Charles Rogers, a good double there, 105 and 45.
Charles, I reckon that's the first man named Charles that's got a ton at Port Districts.
I think you're right, yeah.
Hopefully they didn't beat him up at the Larkspur Hotel. But anyway, I had a quick look at his stats and batted 9 earlier in the year, and last year batted down the order. So that's his 2 highest scores in the last 2 years. So might have to test him as well.
Okay, well done to Charles there. And Old Scotch, 195. Cormac O'Reilly, 51. Drew with Ingle Farm. So that's A1. If we move on to the Sports Centre A2, round 4, your boys, Unley, 259 and none for 71. Too strong for Golden Grove, 183. Waruna Herath, 64. And Ollie Smith, 5 for 23. So good performance there.
Well, it was good getting the old fella Waruna back. He's been in Sri Lanka for a while. So last year he went to Athelston for a year, but before then he was with Unley for about 3 years. So he's a former first-class player there.
Yep.
He's a really top bloke. So yeah, I reckon he came in at number 8 and smacked him about a bit. And the old Prez, 5 for 23. Pretty happy with himself. Gave himself player of the round as well. So
good luck to him. And Brighton, really strong performance against Gould, 8 for 414 with Hack and McCurney both getting hundreds. Too strong for Goodwood, 147. So that's a solid effort by Brighton.
Massive, 400 runs, massive. I saw they batted 90-odd overs there. I think Hack's might be an Englishman.
Yep.
He looks pretty talented there. I think he's made a few runs this year. And Matt McInerney coming across from the SA country. Captain of the club. And yeah, hey, he's a quality player. So both those boys are going to make a lot of runs. So Brighton are going to make a few runs this year.
Yep.
They did have covers.
Yeah,
and they got away. So well done, Brighton.
Well done to them. Spock will be disappointed they didn't get away because they racked up 297. Hamish Leprastier, 109. Drew with Ranella, who didn't get away. Jake Shaw, 6 for 83. So Spock will be disappointed with that.
What do you reckon Hamish is? Is he the French tradesman?
I've heard that he is. So, yeah. He's done a bit of work around at your house, I think. So, yeah. Well, that's now Ross Trevor, 358. Patrick Page, 170. Drew with Recabites. Ryan Potter, 4 for 89. So, that was probably a winning score where they didn't get away. Adelaide Lions racked up a very important win against the strong PAOC. Abaguna Wanarina, 5 for 46, and Thelina, 78. Nick Clayfield, 6 for 25 and 3 for 20. So that's a good win for Adelaide Lions, but must have been tough conditions on day 2.
I reckon Princes was 6 for overnight, maybe 6 for 69 or something like that, and they dug in there. I reckon Clayfield made about 12 off 100.
Yeah, okay.
I reckon there was some 20 ball ducks in there and whatever else. The young leggy from Lions as well. I mean, he goes very well, but been a tough game, exciting game, and in the second innings, Talina to hit 78 out of 127. No one else got in double figures there as well, so obviously was batting to a different ball.
Good win by the Lions, and I think Angus Marshall took the game off to go to the Coldplay concert, so they'll be hopefully he'll be back this week for PAOC. And Jeps Cross 290, Asaha with 139, but Walkerville didn't get away on the second day. Oscar Gray 4 for 52. So that's A2. And then if we move on to the women's, first grade, this is round 6. Adelaide with a big win over Ranella, 3 for 187. Kylie Rattray 84. Melissa Akers 73. Too strong for Ranella, 7 for 103.
Melissa Akers, I reckon she ex-Paraka.
I think
must
so,
have been the last 2 times Player of the Year the last 2 years, reckon, Adelaide Turf. So
She
spoke very well the other year at the dinner.
Always features strongly at the dinner, doesn't she? So
Adelaide has snaffled her, right?
Yep. And, look like they're reaping the rewards there. West Torrens in a low-scoring game, 1 for 42. Murdoch, 3 for 2, defeated Brighton, 40.
There's a West Torrens name there. I reckon maybe her old man might be coaching him, Daniel Murdoch. Old Froggy out there, played a bit.
Yep, no, good win for Torrens, and Paynham with a strong win over Adelaide Uni. 3 for 121, Marziale 60, and Lily Thompson 3 for 16, defeated Adelaide Uni 50.
Who was that? Lillian Thompson, did you say?
Lily Thompson.
Mate, that would be scary, wouldn't it, coming in facing Lily Thompson?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But, she did well. And Para Hills, 4 for 175. Tamara Clapton, 116 not out. Too strong for Sturt with 3 for 73.
We don't want to harp on this game too much. Our guest coming up might not be happy with us.
No, exactly.
Tamara Clapton, 116 not out, having a great year, 400 runs at 133, so obviously can bat.
Yeah, that's
had a
very
look through
strong.
there, seven half centuries last year, so must give him a bit of a whack, I reckon.
Going pretty well for sure. Brighton with a good win in round 7 over Ranella, 1 for 101. Mia Landrigan, 46 and 2 for 15, and Hera Singh, 28 not out. Too strong for Nella, 6 for 99. Vlachos, 28, and Rocho, 20 not out. Paynham, 5 for 96. Melissa Fanning, 44, defeated Adelaide, 8 for 45. Heather Westwood, 2 for 14. And Adelaide versus Certain, Para Hills versus West Torrens were both rainouts. So that's the women's for round 6 and 7. And speaking of the women's competition, we're going to take a quick break and come back with our special guest, Karen Smith. Welcome back to Straight Bat, talking Adelaide Turf Cricket. It's our pleasure to welcome our special guest, Karen Smith, to the show. Karen, how are you going this evening?
Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Delighted to be here.
Great to have you on the Straight Bat. And we might start at the beginning. How did you first get involved into cricket?
Look, I think I first started playing cricket probably just after the men got back from the Great War. I think I first started playing in about 86, 87. But prior to that, I'd already established a love of cricket. Both my parents love watching cricket, and I'm the youngest of 5 kids, and number 4, brother and I were probably a bit younger than the older 3. And he and I had some pretty torrid battles in the backyard over the years growing up. So I'd already developed a love of cricket before I got the opportunity to play.
Fantastic. And when you started back in 86, what were the women's pathways like into the game?
Well, Well, the fact that it took me until I was 20 to actually find a women's competition probably explains that. Yeah, look, it wasn't. I don't know whether it was a secret club before that point or something, but it wasn't easy to find, and there wasn't, a lot of opportunities. It was a fairly small competition, so pathways were pretty non-existent at that point.
Fair enough. Yeah.
You've had a long career at Sturt, captaining and coaching, playing in all the grades. Can you tell us about your time there?
Oh, look, Sturt's my cricket home. It's when we first started there, we had women's teams, and our competition was overseen by the South Australian Women's Cricket Association, and the men were SACA. And so we were two separate entities trying to come together and bring something together. So there were a lot of challenges in the early days because it was quite different situation to now. But as a club, it's always been an incredibly welcoming place to be, and we've always had competitive women's teams, and it's home. It's cricket home for me, without a doubt.
And in your early days, I hear you're a tearaway quick. Is that what my rumour?
Oh, look, I don't know how good your rumour mill is, actually. I think I fancied myself as a tearaway quick, but I think I ran in a long way for not much output. So, bold outswing, and probably was more of a medium pace than a tearaway quick.
You're still bowling now?
Yeah, well, when I play, I'm off at the moment due to a bit of a back complaint, but I bowl off about 5 paces, and that's enough for me these days.
That's a long run up for me, I tell you now.
Well,
I went back to 4 paces about 6 years ago.
Well, I did try 3, but that was just too short, so I thought I'll stick with 5, and
And how did the standard, I guess, of women's cricket improve over your time at Sturt?
Yeah, wow. Look, I think the women's cricket has grown, extraordinary since back in that time. And as naturally, as you get more people competing, you're going to improve the standard as the games, the women's games become more professional too. The standard has improved, out of reach. I think it's more that now that the kids coming into playing cricket have a base. Like the young girls already have been playing cricket at primary school and that sort of thing. I never got an opportunity to play at primary school. And so they already have a certain level of skills when they come into the game, and that just pushes the whole competition up. So, it's actually, the standard has improved out of sight over that period, without a doubt.
And did you get much support from the men's program at Sturt? Yeah,
look, the men at Sturt have always been incredibly supportive. I think one of the key differences, and I can see this now upon reflection, because when we first joined together, the men received funding from SACA as a premier grade club. They received funding from SACA. And then we come along and they say, well, where's your funding from SORCA? Our South Australian Women's Cricket Association was a volunteer association. There was no money to be had, and they were sort of like, okay, well, what are you bringing to us if you're not bringing the money? So we had to, find other ways to contribute to the club, which we did, socially, and, doing all the fundraising and that sort of thing. But certainly from wanting the women in the club, Sturt always wanted us in the club, and we're really happy to work with us to get to that point.
Fantastic.
So socially, they're the hive of the club, are they? Because we had Richard Gabbin the other week, and his wife, he's a player there at Ranella, and he said they're the ones that are at the bar there and having the fun and leading the way.
I don't think we can come close to the Ranella girls. I'd tip my hat to them. No, we're not anywhere near them though. They are a great bunch of ladies and wonderful to play against, and good in the bar as well, absolutely.
So they followed the men. The men there won a lot of Spirit of Cricket awards in Adelaide Turf, and same line with the women.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I've got a bucket load of respect from the ladies at Ranella. Really love playing against them. Love having a drink afterwards as well. And they're probably my favourite team to play against. They just are a wonderful bunch. Do you beat them all the time? No, we have a pretty even. It's a tough battle we have, which is always really good fun. So
beautiful. So you're at Burnside Cricket Club earlier, president, coach, captain.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, well, that was, in hindsight, that was probably not such a great idea, because we basically were trying to set up a club without any real infrastructure. We would have been a lot better sticking with an established club. And at that time too, the Women's Cricket Association were moving more towards moving in with SACA and it becoming one cricket body. So, and they were very much pushing, we want clubs affiliated with district clubs. So yeah, it was a lot of work. It was great fun, without a doubt, but probably in hindsight, I might not have done that.
Where were they based?
At the Marriottville pub. No, look, I think we trained at Marriottville High School, and we used a few ovals around there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Tregenza?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, we played. Yes, we played at Tregenza.
Before that got taken off us.
Yeah, that's
Cricket
right.
Oval,
Yeah.
Bloody rugby,
They
I
don't
tell
like
you.
to share, do they?
Front rowers, I don't
Good
know.
little oval, that one, yeah.
Admin-wise as well, you've been a bit of a trailblazer there. You're a rep on the Sturt Management Committee, first woman development officer. Has that been challenging?
I wouldn't call myself a trailblazer. I think I just happened to land in those positions. I think I've probably given more to cricket in my later time than I did back then. I think that was just more fortunate. I can say I was the first of those things, but really I didn't do a great deal. I think I've done more in my later years where I can actually see that what I'm giving is actually of value.
Okay, and now I believe you're captain of the Sturt third grade in the ATCA. Spot, you said you're injured at the moment, but what do you think of the ATCA competition, the standard of the cricket there?
Look, it's great, and I have to be extra nice about the absent EO.
Yep.
I think he does an extraordinary job of running the women's competition.
Who's that?
It's the guy that normally sits here. David has been fantastic. He's so good in communication, and he clearly has a passion for the women's competition as well, which is really wonderful. And it's growing year by year, and the competition standard in general is pretty good. We've got a nice mix of teams. You've got some, very strong senior teams and then teams that are bringing juniors through. So you might get a bit of a mix of results. But as a competition, it's fantastic to be a part of.
And you've also done a bit of coaching at school level with Walford and Mitcham. How are you finding participation levels there? Yeah,
well, I don't do the high schools anymore. I'm actually involved with Goodwood Cricket Club.
Okay, yeah.
I do the junior girls there. And look, the school programs are a lot bigger than what they were back when I did Mitcham and Walford. Though it was quite a small competition, but now we're seeing right across the board the competitions are a lot bigger. So it's great to see the girls out playing. It's
definitely.
They've got a few teams, Goodwood there, haven't they, in the junior girls?
We got 2 this year. We had 3 last year, and we've got 2. And it's good to see Unley have got an under-12s team.
Oh, they're starting off.
We've been
waiting for a few years to start.
I know. We've been waiting. But it's good to see.
Yep.
No, that's all right. So, and I guess in general, with the success of the Aussie women's team, the Big Bash, the publicity, you must be thrilled with how far the women's game's come since you started.
It's remarkable. I still think back to that T20 final at the MCG. 80,000 people there watching the cricket. It just gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. And the fact that, tonight I can head home and watch the first WBBL final on TV.
Saturday night we've got one here as well, haven't we? That'll be fantastic.
Adelaide Oval, that's going to be awesome. But, I remember back in the 80s we had a test. And it was an Australian women's. I don't know who they were. I think they were playing India, and they said, "Oh, they're going to telecast it." And it's like, "Oh, fantastic!" And it was one TV camera at one end of the oval, no commentary.
Yep.
And I look now to see what girls, the visibility of women's cricket. That's the thing, that girls can actually see it on their TV and watch it. And you can say to them, "Who's your favourite cricketer?" They'll say Elise Perry, Megan Sheet, that sort of thing. It's been fantastic to watch.
So they pioneered frog box then, hey?
Yeah, that's it.
From one end. It's way before their time.
You didn't even see as much as you did on frogs. I actually reckon they had the ashes over the radio. They were tapping the pin when they hit the
Yeah. And he's not here tonight, but so you can answer honestly. But what can the ATCA do to help growing the women's game?
Look, I think keep doing what they're doing,
Yep.
and I think encourage community clubs to get women's teams going, because I think the community clubs, and probably Renella's a great example of that. They've, obviously had a lot of success, and they've organically grown from 1 to 2 teams this year, without actually actively going out and developing. Well, that's from what I know, and I think there is a place for community clubs to have women's teams. And I think there's a lot of advantages to be had from that. So that's where I'd be looking to push. David, just keep doing what he does.
Yep.
I think there with the women's and the girls and the women's, you need a driver in your club. So generally that'll be a dad that's got some daughters that will come in and they'll drive that. I know we tried to get it off the ground at Unley a few years ago, and we chatted and we did all that. But we had 200 boys running around. Yeah. We were strained with there. We had, I think, 6 senior sides at the time. We had a small committee, but we were trying to develop the girls or the women's game there. We went out there, but we didn't have any volunteers, and I sort of put my hand up because I was working with Saka to try and grow and whatever else, but we fell over there because we didn't have someone that was driving it, that had the passion. I had 2 young boys that was
you're spot on, because I mean, if you look at Goodwood, we've had a women's cricket coordinator there. Her daughter plays in the competition, and she's been the coordinator. And the parents, we have a number of parents that are heavily involved. And I only got involved because my stepdaughters were playing, and I took them out to training, and they went, "Oh, so you coach cricket, do you?" And I went, "Yeah, okay." But it's been fantastic. It's been really good fun. Yeah, so hopefully Unley will get there.
Oh, no, I think we're going there, and they've got some off-field support there and infrastructure there. They've got a lap guy there, Tom Monsignor.
Yep.
Does a bit of work around the place. He's driving that. I know he's doing stuff out working at Wolford now as well. So we have the Wolford girls in the nets as well, training there. I think that's trying to grow that next to Mitcham girls as well. Yep. We've got the scope there, might steal a few from Goodwood, but I think, with that, there's enough clubs to go around.
Absolutely.
For them all. So one last one I've got for you is...
Here we go.
In your time at Sturt, obviously Sturt have a rich history of excellent cricketers or Australian cricketers. How many of them have you seen come through, and have you got any good stories about something when they started off? You've had a few, Shelley Nitschke.
Yeah, we've had a few. Yeah, Shelley Nitschke. I used to like bowling to Shelley in the nets because she didn't like facing me. That was my favourite part. Megan came along while I was in one of my absences from the club. She's been quite an extraordinary player over the years. Chris Britt we had playing for Australia, and then way back in the early days, Andrew McCauley and Tundi Uhas and Carolyn Ward. We had a number of Test players all through that time. I can't tell any great stories about all of them, mainly because I can't remember them now.
What about up-and-comers?
Up-and-comers, we've got a few. I think
Beth?
Yeah, young Beth Worthley. She scored her first ton just a week or so ago.
She started at Unley there, played with the boys under 10s.
She's still on the promotional picture, actually, outside the Oval.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if it's a cricket or football, but there's a sign outside Unley Cricket, and Beth's face is on it. Makes me laugh every time I go past. It's great.
Another one of ours that we've started off in their cricket part.
All right, Karen, so we might roll into the Mad Minute. We've got some quick fire questions we're going to go at you with. So your greatest cricket achievement?
Life membership of the Sturt Cricket Club.
Yep.
Hands down.
Fantastic.
Best player you played with?
Played with Andrew McCauley.
What about biggest influence on your career?
I don't think I'd say anybody in particular has been. I think what's been the greatest influence on my career is actually what I've got back from what I've put out.
Yep.
Toughest player to bowl to?
Cam Rotten.
What about your favourite all-time cricketer?
Or it'd be a toss-up between David Hooks and Shane Warne, both amazing cricket brains. Entertainers and risk takers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Favourite sports person?
Kathy Freeman. 25th of September 2000. I still remember that night. She carried the hopes of a nation on her shoulders, and then at the end of it sat down and went, right, what do I do now?
So you're a real Kathy fan, are you?
Yeah.
What's her date of birth?
Oh, don't be smart.
16th of February 1973.
Oh, yeah, show off.
Same day as me.
Okay.
One of us reached greatness and then it's me.
What about the best thing about women's cricket?
That we get to play women's cricket, that it exists, I just love the game. I'd play it all day and all night if I could. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Next one's Raj's favourite Best patrons at the Goodwood and Sturt bars.
Right, well, I don't get to the Goodwood Bar as much as I would like, but Red Emel's there
Oh,
every time
yeah.
I'm there, so
Yep.
I think he probably wins hands
Fantastic.
down.
Yeah.
He's just overseeing. He's just mentoring.
that's right.
He's such
Keeping
a
everyone
great
under control.
bloke, though.
Yep.
He's fantastic. I
Yep.
love Red. And it's probably the Kelly twins. I mean, Corey manages the bar, so I guess that's his excuse. But,
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, that's it. And in terms of the girls at the Sturt bar, I'm going to lay down the challenge and none of them match me, so I win by a long shot.
And one thing we could do to grow the women's game faster.
Faster. I don't know that you want to grow it any faster. I think you just want to keep building. Sort of the underneath. I think the real key to it is keeping juniors coming through and not just getting a bunch of juniors, getting them in and then having them go off elsewhere, but actually keeping them growing and watching them develop through, because I think that's the most exciting part about developing cricket, is watching them come through.
Fantastic. Well, Karen, it's been great having a chat to you tonight, hearing about your career and about the women's competition.
Thank you.
Congratulations on everything that you've achieved. And we might get you to hang around for our tips if you can. So
yeah.
the guests need a bit of a boost. So we'll see what you can do.
I'm planning on boosting them.
We'll take a quick break and come back with Straight Bat right after this.
Showing my true colours on the field is being ultra competitive, going out on the field and having as much fun as possible.
My true colours, extremely competitive, love to win.
How I feel like I show my true colours is to just be myself. It's a smile on my face and making sure that everybody's having a good time.
Welcome back to the Straight Bat, and it's that time of the week where we go to the tips. And before we do that, I'm just going to get this bad boy out because just an update. So David is actually on 18, but he's not here, so he can't wear the cap. I'm on 17. Was you only on 15? And Karen and the guests are on 16. So it's very tight actually, but obviously affected by rain a bit last week. But let's go to round 5. Start off with A1, and we've got Flinders Park versus Woodville. Karen, what do you think?
I'm leaning with the home team, Flinders Park.
I'm assuming it's Woodville South, so I'll go the Cats.
Okay, I'm going to go for Flinders Park, and David has sent his tips in. He's gone for Woodville South. Then we'll move into Grange versus Old Scotch. Karen?
Grange look pretty strong from what I've seen.
Yep.
And at home, I definitely back them.
Yeah, Grange for me.
Yeah, I agree, Grange, and David agrees as well, Grange. Then we've got Ingle Farm hosting Paraka.
Yeah, I'm going for a bit of upset. The away team, Paraka.
The Northern Tussle, eh?
Yep.
What's that for? The Settlers Cup or something?
Probably.
I'll go for Paraka.
Of course you will. I'll go for Paraka as well, and David will go for Paraka as well. Now, Para Hills versus Hope Valley. Karen, what do you think there?
Again with the home team, Para Hills at home.
Para Hills for me. I signed up this week to the Hillster podcast as well.
Oh, well done. Yep. I'm with Para Hills, as is David. Then we've got Port Districts hosting Marion, Karen.
Yeah, I'm leaning with the home teams again. Again, Port District over Marion.
I'll go Marion.
Okay, going for the upset. Myself and David like Port Districts there. And the last game of the round, Trinity versus Goodwood. This is quite a big game because they're both sitting outside the 4 at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah, water bag trip. I think you give it to Trinity just because long go.
Yeah.
They do play well at home, Trinity, but Goodwood won for a reason last year. So I did speak to the coach on Sunday as well. So I'm going to go Goodwood.
Goodwood for me as well, and David likes Goodwood as well. Let's go to A2, and we've got Adelaide Lions hosting Spock. Should be a good game.
Absolutely. Lions are pretty strong from what I see. I'm backing them.
Tough to play out at West Beach with the win now. I don't think the Spock boys are going to be too happy.
What about the change rooms?
Change rooms are A1 there.
We've established that, haven't we? Yep.
But the Spock boys, their hair will be blowing everywhere, so I'm going to take the Lions on that one.
Yeah, I agree, as does David. Now, this is an interesting one. Goodwood versus David's boys at the Rechabites, Karen.
I know I was torn because, I have a bit of an affiliation with Goodwood, and then I had a sympathy vote for David, actually. I've got Rechabites.
Well, again, one in, one out for them, isn't it? Hey, they're good, they're bad, they're good, they're bad. They got torched for 370 last week. I'll go with the Rechabites.
Yeah, I'm with Rechabites as well, and David's gone for Rechabites, which may be bad for them. PAOC versus Unley. Karen, what do you think?
Sorry, was PAOC.
Oh, only easy, mate. We're on a roll here.
Okay, yeah,
One in a row.
PAOC won't lose 2 in a row, so I think they'll win that one. Ranella versus Golden Grove.
Another water bag trip.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, I'm backing Ranella at home.
Was?
Ranella.
I'm going to go for an
I did-
upset here,
I
Golden
did-
Grove, because
I did-
Gabby's away, so...
Gabby's away.
Yep.
Cam Panak played in the Bees. I saw he got 95. So
Yep.
now he can bat, apparently, as well as be a gun bowler. So I reckon Ranella there.
Okay, I'll go Golden Grove, but David's gone for Ranella. Then we've got Ross Trevor versus Jeps Cross.
Yeah, home for the Rozzie boys.
Okay, was?
They got the potential to win it all, Ross Trevor, so I'm going to go with them.
Okay, I've gone for Jeps Cross, but David's also gone for Jeps Cross. And the last game of the round, Walkerville hosting Brighton.
I reckon Brighton might give Walkerville a run for their money.
Okay, was?
I'm going to go Walkerville again. Strong bowling line up there, the boys at home, and the Prince, Lockie Skinner, I reckon he's due. He's quiet game last week, if he played.
Walkerville for me, and David's gone for Brighton. So that is our tips for round 5. We're going to take a quick break and come back with the last couple of segments on the straight bat. Welcome back to Straight Bat. Thank you very much to Karen Smith, who talked to us all about women's cricket. And we do have a voucher from the Aqaba, I think a $50 voucher to Sporties was for Karen.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on there. It was great there, just having a bit of a chat with Karen off air as well. She's got a podcast going.
She has, yeah.
Sounds very interesting. Wickets, Tales of Women's Cricket. So have a look on that on Spotify. I might be on YouTube as well, but get across to that. I'm sure there'll be some entertaining stories there and talking cricket there.
Absolutely. And we've got our segment 6 and out, which is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So send in your cricket videos to marketing@turfcricket.com.au. We've got 3 clips that we're going to play, and we're going to send all of them a voucher from the to Sporties as well, aren't we, Woz? So
Yes.
Thank you for sending those in.
Certainly will. You can have a look at these vouchers. Have a look at these clips.
Yep.
We'll put them up on Facebook as well, and we'll have a voting system there. And at the end of the year, again, whoever wins will win a $1,000 voucher for their club for some clothing. So it's a great prize there, brought to by ISC Sports.
So if you've got any videos, please send them in to us, marketing@turfcricket.com.au, and you'll be getting a voucher from the Aqaba Hotel, which is fantastic. Now, we've also got a glimpse of our next segment, Willow Talk, with the bat doctor, Matt McCleary. So, we're going to see that on a separate recording on YouTube, aren't we, Woz? But you went down there and had a bit of a chat.
Yeah, we went into the surgery there, the back surgery, and had a look around, had a chat. Bit of history about Matt, obviously a very strong Adelaide turf cricketer, and he's got a great story there that he was playing in the one dayers. Guy from Prospect saw him, said, why don't you come down for a hit with Prospect? Played a year at A-grade district at 39 years of age.
Yeah.
Went back to Adelaide turf the next year and made his 1,000 runs in LO5 or whatever it was, and he's sort of been a Panorama man for a while. Panorama's folded now, but now he's following his lad, Nate. He's having a cracker of a year. He's only 13. I reckon he must be nearly 6 foot, his lad now, and he's already peeled off 3 tonnes this year for Sturt in the 14 Reds. He's now playing 16 Reds, so he's going to be a very good player. So
All right, so have a look at that video on our website, and if you've got any bat stories, please send them in to marketing@turfcricket.com.au because they're in the running for a great prize, aren't they?
We've got one, I reckon, that's going to pop up in a minute. You'll be able to listen to that story. That's coming from young Mitch from Unley.
On my wedding day 21 years ago, my wife bought me a bat for life, as she knows I have two loves. I've thought a few times of trading up, but have resisted the urge of a new and improved model. Never ever did I think of upgrading and getting a new bat until now. Getting a new bat will add another 21 years of cricket and marriage. Waza from Camden Park. My dad filled in for my club in the T20s and borrowed my bat. He hasn't played in a long time and made 3 ducks in 3 games. He only hit the ball once. In his last game, he sat on my cricket bag when scoring because we had no chairs and it was raining, and he broke my handle. Dad fixed the handle with gaffer tape, but it now wobbly and hurts your hands when you hit the ball. Mitch. Unlay. Had a couple of years off, first hit of the season. Crack! WTF, I thought my hammies would go before my bat. Please help me. Broken bat, broken heart of Adelaide.
That just about takes us out for the Straight Bat for another edition. So thank you to Karen, our special guest. Thank you to all our major partners, the Arkabar, Kookaburra, and all our sponsors, Platinum Print Group. But as we like to do, we've got a joke to go out with you. So I think it might be a bit more entertaining, judging by what you've been sipping away on there. So what have you got for us tonight, Waz's Wit?
Well, here we go, mate. Why does Modbury need a lighter?
What does Modbury really need a lighter? I couldn't tell you. Why do they?
Because they've lost all their matches. Sorry about that, Modbury guys.
Oh, no, you're going to get some complaints about that. We might have some apologies next week for that, but we've got an apology for David. Actually, I've got one for you. Someone actually sent this into marketing@turfcricket.com.au. Jason from, I think he's from Unley, but I don't know if it's in your team. What's the definition of optimism? You putting sunscreen on before you go out to bat. Now, that seems a little bit rough because he has made a few runs this year, but thank you for that, Jason. So if you've got any other jokes, send them into marketing@turfcricket.com.au. That takes us out for another edition of Straight Bat, but all being well, we'll be back with you in a couple of weeks, and hopefully the executive officer will be back in the chair. We might be ejected from the chair, who knows, but hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Who we got before we go, mate? Who we got coming up? Do you know?
I think we might have a couple of brothers from PAC, Angus and Charlie Marshall, coming in a couple of weeks.
Oh, you love child. No, you're not bad, mate. Eh?
No, well, his career took off after he left Pembroke. So yeah, but no, that should be good. So plenty more special guests coming up throughout the year. So it's going to be good.
And I reckon also we've got some interview series with Red, Emil.
We have, yeah, so that's going to be fascinating, yeah. Everyone loves some stories from Red, so that'll be great.
And there'll be separate episodes as well that you can get off Spotify and YouTube. So.
Yeah, exactly. So Straight Bat, tune in, plenty more entertainment to come over the coming weeks. We'll see you in a couple of weeks, Woz. Thank you very much.